Hi, welcome to today's gentle flow. For today's practice, you are going to want a block or thick sturdy book. Shoebox works just fine. And we're gonna get started in an easy seat. So whichever leg you prefer in front, hands can rest on your knees. Give yourself a few rounds of breath here. Eyes might soften or close. You can roll your shoulders up towards your ears and then slide them down your back. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hinge forward for easy seat forward fold. Hands falling in front of you. You can inch your fingertips away if you want to increase sensation, or walk your fingertips back towards you to decrease. Giving yourself a few rounds of breath here. One more breath here, folded. And then walk your hands back into your body to lift your upper body out of the shape. Roll over your shins or knees. Hands come under your shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale to drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. Inhale for cow, belly drops, gaze lifts. Exhale for cat, round your spine. Give yourself a few more rounds of breath, following your pace of breath, or spending a little extra time in either position if it feels really good. Adding in any movement here to warm up the spine. Reminding yourself here through this gentle flow, just encouraging yourself to move a little more slowly than you may typically be used to or want to. Just challenging yourself to slow down. Can pause here in a neutral spine, and then making sure that your block is towards the top of your mat. Walk your hands forward about a handprint, tuck your toes, lift your hips for downward facing dog. Give yourself a few moments here, once again pedaling out the legs. You can shift hips side to side. Any movement that feels good to wake up your body. Or if stillness feels good, hang right there. Using your entire inhale, sweep your right leg towards the sky, toes dialed down. Exhale, step your right foot outside of your right hand, or as close to it as is available in your body. Then bringing that block under your hands here to give a little more space, lifting that upper body here. Lower your back knee, untuck your toes. Left hand plants into that block. Right arm reaches behind you. Now, in some bodies, this might be where you pause. Bending your back heel, grabbing for that back foot. If it's available, you can grab the foot. If not, just stay reaching. 2 full rounds of breath here. Next breath, release, toes back to the mat, hand to the block. Releasing hands off the block, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee for lizard. Step back to downward facing dog once more. Inhale, sweep left leg to sky, toes stay dialed down. Exhale, left foot outside of left hand. Again, bringing that block in to give some extra space. Lower your back knee, untuck your toes. Pausing here first. Right hand plants into mat, or block I should say. Left hand reaches behind you. This is a great spot to pause, or bending your back knee, hand grabbing for that foot. The goal here is to open the chest, bringing in that twist. So if this isn't available, bring your hand to the low back, gently pulling that left shoulder back. Whatever works for you. Full breath here. Next breath, release, hand back to the block. Releasing that block forward. Tuck your toes, lift your back knee, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale to half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up once more. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale to half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Inhale and plank on toes or knees. Exhale, lower all the way to the mat, elbows graze the ribs. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift your heart for cobra, just as high as feels good. Exhale, lower back to the mat. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. You're welcome to stay here. We'll be here for a few rounds of breath, adding in any movements, or you can come to a tabletop. Perhaps some more cat-cows would feel good, or a child's pose if rest would serve you better right now. Using your next 2 rounds of breath to get back to a downward facing dog if you're not already there. Taking your time. Hips reach towards the sky, heels towards the mat. Inhale, sweep right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, warrior 2. Back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat, arms at shoulder height. Finding your base here first, press into the blade edge of that back foot. Full round of breath for each pose here. So inhale, palm flips up, reach forward. Exhale here. Inhale, reach your arm overhead, reverse warrior. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, extended side angle, right arm to that thigh, left arm overhead. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Straighten that front leg, turn your toes to long edge of the mat, wide leg forward fold. Inhale, plant your right hand, left arm sweeps to the sky. Exhale, left hand back to the mat. Inhale, right arm sweeps to the sky. You can always bring that block under your hands here, continuing with these rotations. But if the floor feels really far away, use that block here. One more round on either side. Then pausing with both hands lowered, forward fold. Inhale to half lift, flat back. Exhale, turn your toes, walk your hands back to the top of the mat, low lunge. Step back to downward facing dog, hips towards the sky, heels towards the mat. Inhale, sweep left leg to sky. Exhale, step it between your hands. Warrior 2 on the other side, back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat, arms at shoulder height. Set up your base here first. Full round of breath in each shape. Inhale, left palm flips up, reach forward. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, left arm reaches overhead, reverse your warrior. Exhale here. Inhale, left forearm to left thigh, right arm overhead. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, draw yourself back to warrior 2. Straighten that front leg, turn your toes to long edge of the mat, wide leg forward fold. Now, if those rotations felt really good on the other side, you are welcome to continue those rotations here. If you would like a little deeper bend, you can bring opposite hand to opposite elbow, just allowing your head to hang heavy here for a few breaths. You can always wrap peace fingers around your big toes to pull yourself a bit deeper if that feels good. Checking in, listening to your body. If you're ever unsure, just try something out. You can always change your mind. 2 more full breaths wherever you are. Next breath, release any bind or grip you may have. Inhale to half lift, flat back. Exhale, turn your toes, walk your hands back to the top of the mat. Stepping back to down dog once more. Inhale, sweep right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands for low lunge. Left hand plants into the block or mat. Right arm sweeps to the sky, revolved low lunge. Inhale, lift into revolved crescent. So right arm stays reaching back, left arm forward. This is a lovely place to stop. You can pause right here, nice and challenging for our balance. Or right hand comes to that back thigh, left arm overhead. Breathe here. Full round of breath wherever you are. Next breath, left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches back. Draw your hands to heart center. Hinge forward. Left elbow hooks outside of right knee, prayer hands. Pull your heart towards your thumbs, helping you to lengthen your spine. Next breath, left arm reaches down, right arm reaches up. Open, revolved crescent. Breathe here. Next breath, hands come back to heart center. Unwinding here, returning, or I should say getting into crescent for the first time. Fingertips lift, back heel presses towards the back wall. Hands to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Heels towards the mat, hips towards the sky. Full breath here between sides. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale, sweep left leg to sky. Exhale, step it between your hands, low lunge. Right hand can plant into block or mat. Left arm sweeps to the sky, revolved low lunge. Breathe here. Use your inhale to lift into open, revolved crescent. Left arm reaching back, right arm reaching forward. Again, this is a lovely place to stop. Or left hand finds that back thigh, right arm overhead. Gaze can drift up towards that extended arm, or you can keep your neck at neutral. Sometimes that feels better in my neck. Helps a bit with balance. Finding what works for you. Gazing up at that hand can intensify your back bend. Next round of breath, right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back. Draw your hands to heart center. Leaning forward, right elbow hooks outside of left knee. Left shoulder pulls back. Heart pulls towards your thumbs. Then open your arms. Right arm reaches down, left arm reaches up. Elbow pressing into your knee. Keeping your chest open here for just a moment. Hands come back to heart center. Unwind to crescent with prayer hands. Then arms lift to the sky. Feeling your base here. Hands come back to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale and down dog. Exhale here. Inhale, bend your knees and look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back, squeeze your shoulder blades. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root through your feet, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching up. You can add a back bend in here if it feels good. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale to half lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale all the way to the mat. Elbows graze your ribs, untuck your toes. Inhale, lift your heart for cobra. Elbows hug in. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, press up to your plank, toes or knees. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, lift your heels high off the mat, coming to your tippy toes. Exhale, bring your knees to the mat, child's pose. Untuck your toes, hips sink back towards your heels. Arms staying active in this child's pose, reaching your fingertips forward to create some space along your side body. 3 full rounds of breath here. When that's complete for you, walking your hands back in towards your body to lift your upper body out of the shape. Then I shift my weight a bit towards my hands, tucking your toes for plantar stretch. So bringing your knees so they point towards the top of the mat. They were at a bit of a diagonal. And then you can keep some weight in your hands or start to shift your weight back so you're seated on your heels. This can feel pretty intense in the soles of your feet. If it's too intense, you can always shift forward, lifting out of it, even coming to standing on the knees, still stretching out the bottoms of the feet. Here for just 2 rounds of breath wherever you are. Eyes can soften or close, focusing on that breath, cursing how slowly yoga teachers breathe. Next round of breath, shift your weight forward to untuck your toes. Come to a thunderbolt pose for just a moment so you're seated on the top of your feet. A little counter stretch if you want to intensify it. Hands can press into the mat, lifting your knees off the mat, really pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Next breath, release, sweeping your feet out in front of you. Legs extend long for a seated forward fold. Inhale to lengthen your spine, gentle squeeze between the shoulder blades. Exhale, fold forward. Rounding your shoulders here, hands might rest on your ankles or shins. Maybe you can reach your toes. Not concerning yourself as much with that. Focusing on your heart or your chest area, pulling towards your thighs. Breathe here. Give yourself 3 rounds of breath, encouraging each exhale to be just a tiny bit longer than the last. As you're ready, begin to walk your hands in, lifting your upper body out of the shape once more. Soles of the feet come to the mat. Hips shift forward, lowering down to a reclined position. Arms can come up to a T or a cactus shape. Shift your hips a bit to the right. Allow your knees to fall to the left. Recline supine twist. Gaze can drift over that right shoulder. 3 full rounds of breath here. Use your next inhale to draw yourself back towards center. Hips shift a bit to the left. Knees fall to the right. Recline supine twist on the other side. Again, gaze can drift over your left shoulder, or if it feels better in your neck, it can stay up towards the sky. Eyes soft or closed. Breathe here. Next breath, coming back towards center. Then hug your knees into your chest. Arms wrap around the shins. Forehead hugs up to your knees. Tight little yogi hug. Before you exhale, extend into Shavasana. Legs extend long. Arms hang heavy. Encouraging yourself here. Choose each round of breath just to soften a bit more into the pose. Scanning your body to see where you're holding on to any tension. Releasing here. Tongue pulls away from the roof of the mouth. Eyebrows soften. Encouraging each exhale to lengthen just a tiny bit. And I'll let you know when it's time to come out. body can remain still. If it feels good and is available to you today, you're more than welcome to stay in this place of rest. If it's time to close out your practice, start with gentle movement. You can rock the head side to side, wiggle fingers and toes. Any movement that feels good to wake up your body. Then guide yourself to a fetal position on either side, encouraging yourself to move slowly, enjoying a moment of stillness there before you press up to a comfortable, easy seat. Eyes can stay soft or closed here. Embracing the last few moments of practice, feeling into some gratitude. You showed up today, honored your body with movement and with rest, just allowing that feeling to sink in. We'll close with a collective breath. You can inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, draw your hands back to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Thank you for being part of this rad community, and I hope you have a lovely day.